the rumor that tested their bond. When the world started talking. Every close relationship eventually faces a moment of trial. For Freen and Becky, that moment didn't come from within. Came from the outside. Rumor. A whisper. A headline that traveled faster than the truth. It didn't matter that it wasn't confirmed. It didn't matter that neither of them fueled it. What mattered was that, suddenly, the world was watching them not as actors, not as co-stars, and not even as friends, but as a pair whose bond was being questioned, magnified, and tested. And how they handled that moment revealed more about their relationship than any interview or behind-the-scenes clip ever could. The rumor spreads. Started quietly at first. One vague post. One screenshot. One misinterpreted moment taken out of context. But in the age of social media, a spark becomes a wildfire in seconds. Within hours. Fans were confused. Antis were loud. Blogs were speculating. Strangers were creating their own narratives. Clips were slowed down. Photos were zoomed in. Every expression, every interaction, every breath was analyzed like evidence in a trial. And for the first time, Freen and Becky found themselves caught in the middle of a story they didn't write. Silence, the first response. The world expected drama. They wanted reactions. They wanted tension, statements, denial, confirmation, something. But Freen and Becky stayed silent. Not because they were scared. Because they trusted each other enough not to be shaken by noise. While the internet spiraled, they continued working, sharing the same space, breathing the same air, moving in the same rhythm. To outsiders, the silence looked like avoidance. To those who knew them, it was protection. Sometimes the strongest response is refusing to play the game. The distance people thought they saw. When a rumor hits, people begin to imagine things. A simple pause becomes tension. A normal schedule change becomes avoidance. A quiet expression becomes confirmation. People started saying Freen and Becky looked distant, more quiet, more reserved. But what the world didn't see was what happened off camera. A Freen checking on Becky before shoots. A Becky sharing little smiles when the cameras weren't rolling. A quiet conversations in the corner of the room. A subtle reassurances only they understood. They weren't growing apart. They were tightening their circle, protecting their bond from speculation. The moment the truth showed through. Then came the moment that changed everything. A live event, bright lights, hundreds of fans watching, cameras everywhere. Freen and Becky were seated beside each other. They weren't supposed to interact much. The event had its own structure. But then Becky stumbled slightly while adjusting her seat. Without thinking, without hesitating, Freen reached for her. Not dramatic, not exaggerated. Just a simple, instinctive gesture. A hand on her arm. A quiet, "You okay?" That moment went viral. Because instincts are hard to fake. It proved what many already knew. Rumors don't break real bonds. They reveal them. When they finally spoke about it. Weeks later, during an interview, someone asked a pointed question. Not directly about the rumor, but close enough that you could see the tension in the room. Freen answered first. She didn't address the rumor. She addressed Becky. She said something soft, something subtle, but incredibly powerful. Misunderstandings happen, but the people who know you, know you. And the way she looked at Becky after saying it said everything else she didn't say. Becky smiled. Small, genuine, warm. The kind of smile you give someone you trust completely. In that moment, fans saw it clearly. Their relationship had been tested. And it passed. Not through statements, but through understanding. What they learned about each other. The rumor didn't damage them. If anything, it strengthened them. They learned how to communicate better, how to protect each other, how to stay calm in chaos, how to close the world out when necessary, how to trust even deeper than before. They became more mature, more grounded, more united. Freen became gentler in the way she guided Becky through pressure. Becky became more confident standing beside Freen. Their bond didn't just survive the test. Grew. The fandom realized something important. When the dust settled, the fandom noticed something. Freen and Becky didn't need to prove anything. Their actions did the talking. Their small gestures, their natural closeness, their emotional understanding. Those were louder than any rumor could ever be. People realized how strong their connection truly is. A rumor tested their bond. But honesty, trust, and genuine care held it together. A bond that doesn't break under pressure. Most relationships crumble under public scrutiny. Most pairs pull away when rumors rise. Most connections fade under pressure. But Freen and Becky, they stayed steady. They protected each other. They moved as a team. They showed maturity beyond their years. And in the end, the rumor that tried to shake them only proved how unshakable they really are. Because real bonds don't fall apart when tested. They grow stronger.